What's going on, everybody? It's Ms. Mara, and I am back with trip number 2 in European Truck Simulator 2. I decided to go ahead and make a second video despite the fact that I don't have my webcam yet. If my Amazon tracking package thing is anything to go by, it's not going to be here until at least November 2nd. You know, it always sucks when you order like a handful of things in one order and one thing comes, in 3 days and something else will come like a week and a half later. But it is what it is. So today we are hauling some square tubing. Unlike the last video where only like a small part of the trailer was actually being used, this time almost the entire thing. Just a little bit left over at the end there. Always makes me happy and feel useful and feel productive whenever I've got the whole trailer full like that. Makes me feel like I'm actually putting the whole thing to use instead of it only part of it being used. So that's nice. This trip is not going to be near as long as the first video. The first video, the length of it was primarily because I wanted to have plenty of time to discuss the channel and things. This time, not a whole lot of discussion as much because there's not as much to talk about. So this one is actually going to be a little bit more of a focus on the actual gameplay itself, not necessarily the channel per se. So we are going to, where are we going? Valmiera. I don't even know how to say that. I'm not even going to try. We're somewhere in like, we're in this area. Anybody that has, that's like Russia, and that's like Estonia, I think. Obviously that's Finland. Like, I know some of it. Anybody that's better at geography, European geography, than I am, feel free to educate me. I know a little bit, but not everything. American education at its finest. So, tight turn here.
Turn left.
I'll be a much better driver this time. At least I plan on it. Can't make any promises, but I plan on it.
Right.
Last time I was so wrapped up in what I was talking about and so nervous being my first video that no, about to hit the sign. Well, there goes my gonna be a better driver. There goes that. It ain't gonna happen. I might as well just give up. So, because even when I don't talk, I still am just not that great. That's okay.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
See, I feel like these trips would be better with the webcam, because then I can take, like a minute to sit in silence and like really think about what I want to talk about, and you still get to see me. Because with this, without the camera, like if I sit in silence for a couple minutes, it's like I'm not even here. With the webcam, at least you could still see I'm here. So I feel pressured to keep saying something because I don't have the camera to offset the, well, I don't know if you'd say silence, but like the visual audio silence of, I don't know. You might know what I'm trying to say. If you don't, I understand. My mind can be a little difficult to understand. But I'm at least gonna try to be better at the game this time. One thing that sucks about my steering wheel that I'm using is it's about 5 years old itself. And some of the buttons on it are starting to not want to work so well.
To turn left.
I'll press them and I won't always get a response.
Turn left.
So that's a bit of a bummer, particularly the cruise control. What I have set to be the cruise control button. I'll get up to the speed I want to do, and then I'll let off the pedal, and then I'll press the button to put it in cruise control, and it doesn't work, and then I gotta redo it and try again and try again and try again until finally I get it. So sometimes my cruise control isn't set as exactly what I want it to be because I just give up on trying over and over to get it to be exactly what I want it to be, and if it's a kilometer or two off or something, I don't care. I just get tired. Like, you know, when you try to mess with the button like 5 or 6 times and it just doesn't want to do it, you just get tired of fiddling with it. So you just say, okay, what the hell? I'll just go, you know, instead of going 90, I'll go 88 or whatever. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't care anymore. Tired of fiddling with the button. I could always move the button. I could always reassign the cruise control to a different button, but I've had the way I have these buttons laid out is how I've had them laid out since I got this thing. Like, so it'd be really weird for me to switch them around to accommodate for one function. Well, technically 2 functions, because whatever I swapped it with would have to be changed as well. And the button I use to change this menu here back and forth, sometimes the up button that I use to page up instead of page down, sometimes it don't want to work right either. But it works a lot more often than the cruise control one does. See? There, it took me 2 tries to get it that time, and now I'm going 89 instead of 90. It's whatever. You know, just a sign that the wheel's getting old. The wheel still functions great. The shifter I have with it functions great. Like, everything functions great. It's just some of the face buttons are starting to not love me as much anymore.
Get ready to turn
I could
left.
probably fix it too. It's not like I have to go get a whole new wheel. I could probably, well, I'd have to,
Turn left.
probably have to watch a video on how to open it up and like not break anything. But I probably could open it and like, I don't know, maybe it just needs a new spring or something. I don't know. I think with this video, it's going to be the beginning of actually putting in the title of the video the where I'm starting from and where I'm going to in the title of the video, so that when someone clicks on it, they'll have an idea of where I'm going, what I'm doing. I want to try to be consistent with titles and descriptions. So, I'm still working out the thumbnail thing. I still don't know 100% how that works. Like, obviously you could probably just Photoshop something and then, you know, select that as your thumbnail and whatever, but you know, one of the things about YouTube that everybody dislikes is clickbaity thumbnails. When someone has a thumbnail that is clickbaity and the video doesn't represent 100%, like it might represent most of what the thumbnail shows, but it may not represent all of it. Obviously some channels are worse than others, but I don't really want to get into that, really, because I hate clickbaity thumbnails. I think everyone does if they're honest with themselves. Nobody likes a clickbaity video thumbnail or a clickbaity title. So I really don't want, I'm kind of nervous on getting into making customized thumbnails because I don't want well, you know, the AI might be stupid sometimes, but at least it's realistic sometimes. People, yeah, just go ahead and pull out in front of a semi
Go straight
how much am I hauling? Oops, I hit the horn. 12 tons of square tubing and going 90 kilometers an hour, yeah, feel free. Go ahead and pull out in front of me and see how fast I can stop. We'll see how that works out for you. So good to know they're keeping it at least partially realistic with that, because that happens all the time in real life. So
Exit now.
I don't even know what I was saying anymore. So anyway,
At the roundabout, take the first exit. Exit now.
this game taught me how to drive manual, but I still don't know if I would want to try to drive a real manual car. I would, even though I've played this game a lot and have gotten timing down with the clutch and things,
At the roundabout, take the first
I still don't know if I would trust myself.
exit now.
I would be very nervous that I would break the person's car. Like if someone let me drive their car, or if I test drove a manual at a dealership or something, I would be so nervous that I would screw it up. 1,000 hours in Euro truck and American truck, it doesn't matter. I would still be scared that I'd screw it up.
Exit now.
I feel like I can't help but get the feeling that I wait too long to shift, but the little blue on the RPMs there, I feel like for the most part that little blue mark at the 2000 RPM mark seems like an appropriate time to shift, but I could be wrong. A car enthusiast would probably slap me for that one and say, no, that's not right at all. Where did you learn that? So, I don't know. Maybe I should shift, like, in between 1500 and 20. Like, a little after 15. Because I'm trying to think of what happens with my real car. It depends on how fast I'm going. It depends on how much I'm accelerating of when it shifts. Because sometimes it'll shift even before the 1500 if I'm going really slow. But if I'm going real fast, or if I'm trying to get on the highway or something, it'll wait till over 2000 RPM sometimes to shift. It just depends. So, I don't know. Obviously in real life, most of the time, semi-truck drivers have many gears that they shift through. I have a 6-speed in this one because it's a lot easier with the game. With the this Logitech shifter that I have only has 6 speeds and a reverse, so it's not impossible to have like a 12-speed shifter with this thing, because I could just have a button alternated between the odds and evens or whatever, but just to kind of make it more practical and a little bit less of a headache, because it is a game after all, I just went ahead and put the 6-speed in. I wonder what that NS stands for. NS oil? Or maybe it's... No, it's not soil. It's NS oil. Something. Going back to the first video, when I brought up some things about American truck and Euro truck that I liked and didn't like.
Keep right.
One of the things that I miss about American truck, in addition to making a right on red, which I brought up in the last one, there is another thing that I miss, and that is the louder engine brakes when you hit the Jake brake to slow down on a hill and stuff. It's so much better in the American one than it is on this game. And I've never been to Europe. I've never been around in person, a European cab over truck. I don't know how they're really supposed to sound when they hit the engine brake. so I have no way to reference from experience or anything. But
Keep right.
the ones
then
in the
exit
American
right.
game are a lot better. These ones are like, it barely makes any sound at all. It's like you hear something, but I don't know how to describe it. Here, I'll show you in a second. Here, get up to speed.
At
See,
the
that's the
roundabout,
jailbreak.
take the first.
In the American game, it would make like a really hard, loud
Exit
rumble
now.
sound that you would definitely know, you know, that's the jailbreak going on. So I do kind of miss that a little bit. But, you know, that and the Right on Red are really like the only two things about that game that are better than this one to me.
Keep
That's
right.
it. Just like two things. This game has so many other good things about it. It's like, you know, it's like a 5-2 or a 6-2 kind of a matchup, you know. Another thing that this game has that I've noticed ever since I bought my own trailer to do the cargo market instead of the freight market, I've noticed this game has a lot more variety of the things that you can haul with your own flatbed trailer. When I go to the cargo market, I notice there's a little bit more. Just a little bit more of a variety of different items that you can have on your trailer. The American one is just a little bit skimpy on the variety of like 3D models that they made for the trailers. And so that's a little disappointing. I'm sure over time
Turn left.
they will add more things. Or at least they should. Because you see all kinds of different things on flatbed trailers. They could add so many different things. So, but until then, this game has a little bit more variety. Just a few more things to choose from. So that way it doesn't get old as fast, you know. So that way, like in the American one, you could haul like, I don't know, say like, oh, what was one thing I hauled on there? Like, tractor parts or something? Some kind of thing that, I think it was something that had to do with farming equipment. Let's say you do that and you do like hay barrels or you do something else. You do like 5 different things and then all of a sudden you're kind of back to square one. You know, you're back to like looking at the same menu, the same variety of things. With this game, it takes a little longer before you start running into the same things. You know, you might go 6 or 7 trips instead of just 4 or 5 before you start running into more of the same old, same old. So it's a little bit better. What are you doing? You didn't have to slow all the way down like that. Something I don't believe I mentioned in the first video is hard drive space. Videos take up a lot of space, especially when you're doing 1080p. Even if it's just 30 frames a second, 60 frames. I tried. Not only the fact that my computer can't handle it very well, but when I did try it, it also took up a lot more memory space. The video file size got bigger much quicker. So that is another reason why I'm a little bit limited on the quality of the video and stuff. It's not just the computer, it's also the hard drive space. I don't have... Well, for 2015, you know, the hard drives that are in this thing weren't that bad. They were really good for that time, but that's 5 years ago, and hard drive space, you know, files and things have gotten bigger, and all of a sudden a terabyte doesn't seem like that much anymore.
Keep left.
So... But I found out last night that apparently Windows Movie Maker is able to compress the files a little bit So a video that takes like almost 20 gigs, say like an hour-long video take 20 gigs, when it's compressed by Windows Movie Maker, it might go down to like 8 gigs. And that makes it faster to upload, and when I move it to a bigger hard drive or something, that'll make it, I can have more videos and stuff. So that'll be nice.
Exit now.
You know, these roundabouts always confuse me. You know, if I grew up around them, I'm sure that'd be totally different, but see what I mean? Like, I don't even know which way he's going. Alright, I guess I'll go. I guess if I grew up around roundabouts, you know, I would look at him and go, well, I know what's gonna happen, you know. But I didn't grow up around him, so. I mean, the game has taught me a little bit about him than I knew before, but
Get ready to turn left.
but not really that much. Not really.
Turn left and then turn right.
Whoops. I overestimated. Why did I turn the hazards on? I am just so...
It was a nice ride.
Okay. Pick the... Might be able to do it. I've done these before. You go around over here. Well, usually if there's room, if there's not another trailer over there, you can wrap around. You know, that actually looks harder. Pulling it. That looks like it'd be harder, actually. We'll give it a try. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. There's another trailer over there, but they're on the other side, so we'll be fine. I love cab overs because I can get really close to a wall. Like from my point of view inside the cab, I can get a lot closer to the wall and have the confidence that I'm not going to hit it because this thing doesn't have a nose. So that's really nice. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn the lights on again. I gotta do this right. Hold on. How did I... Do I have them on? Yep. It's just really hard to see them because it's daylight. So I guess it doesn't matter anyway. I always... Well, actually, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad. That ain't bad at all. Well, I'm way off to the right, but the game still counts it. Obviously, in real life, you gotta... Like, if you're backing up to, like, a garage door or something, you gotta get super precise. The game is a little more forgiving on that, because you can just park it within these lines here. So... Well, I guess that's the end of this one. Like I said at the beginning, not as long of a video. Not as much to talk about. But I did want to make another one. Because I enjoyed making the last one so much. And I think it actually turned out really well. So, still no webcam, of course. But it is coming. It is coming. The package tracker. Well, I was going to say the package tracker don't lie, but I guess that's not always true. You ever get a package and, like, you'll get a notification that the package was delivered, but it was delivered like 3 hours ago. Like, you found the package on the front porch before you actually got the notification, and then you're, like, eating dinner later, and then you finally get the notification, like, oh, gee, thanks. You know, someone could have stole it, like 3 hours ago if I hadn't, had the thought to go out and look for it. So, we'll see. I've had packages, they'll say they're coming Sunday, but then they show up Friday. It's all screwy. Especially nowadays with everything that's going on. So, but anyway, that's the end of this one. Trip number 2. Probably make a trip number 3 before too long. I don't necessarily want to create a pattern of uploading every day, because I don't want to build that expectation up and then like not fulfill it. I'm thinking maybe like every other day is probably a lot more realistic and attainable, depending on like how life goes and things that come up. So I might be a daily uploader at the very beginning, but that might slow down just a tiny bit depending on anything that might happen. Plus it is the weekend right now, so that obviously plays a difference. You got all the time to do what you want. So, well, it's not the weekend, but it's the beginning of the weekend. I'm gonna shut up now. So, goodbye, everybody.